Hey, what's up, guys? Charles Van Mediva, MilitaryHomebuyerToday.com, and I'm here with two special guests. I've got Faith Hicks from Keller Williams Realty, all the way out in Orange County.
Yes. Who
drove out here to be with us today in Murrieta, and the one and only William King, team lead and Marine Corps veteran, Atlas Realty Group right here in Murrieta. So we're talking about 5 things, if you're a home buyer, 5 things that you need to know when you're about to deal with a home builder, a new home builder. And I want to start with you, Faith. Tell us something that home buyers need to be aware of that might be a little bit different to if they were just driving around looking at homes, resale homes with their realtor.
Yeah, I think one of the first things that a person should know when they're purchasing a new build versus a retail or something that's already been built is that you need to understand your timeline, your motivation. You need to be a lot more patient than normal. And we were just talking about that. Not every builder is the same. So there's a few things to know before you look. But overall, when you walk into a retail home, you can put an offer in and probably 30 days get the keys. Versus if you walk into a new home builder, you're probably not going to get the keys for a good 6-7 months in a normal average time to build. So I think the motivation, the patience, and understanding the process, because it is very different from a retail process, would be the best advice to give someone.
It's a long time to be engaged in the buying process, 6-7 months.
I know, but you know what surprises me is people will wait months for their new Tesla or their car. No, really, right?
That's a good point.
There's a lot of pros and cons to buying something new. I am more of an instant gratification person, right? Like I like getting what I want sooner than later. But a lot of people understand the value in waiting. When you wait for something, sometimes it's a little sweeter. So
let me ask you, what could go wrong in those 6 months? You made a commitment, right? You probably put money down, right?
Yes.
And then you got this extensive wait time. What could go wrong?
A lot.
Give us an example.
I mean, everything. Number one, construction delays. I mean, as we all know right now, there's a shortage in the market with materials, with everything, even with especially building materials. So when you enter a new construction contract, a builder could tell you it's going to be 6 months until you get the keys to your property. But little do you know, it could be 9 months, could be 10 months, because construction delays are something that no one can predict. And we oftentimes can't avoid it. You know?
I just thought something that would affect you as a buyer if you inadvertently locked your interest rate thinking you're going to close June 15th.
Right.
And coming up to late May, the builder says, hey, we're missing this, we're missing that. We got to put it back 6. Now you got to go extending the lock. Pricing might have gotten worse, or the cost might be worse.
I mean, let's not forget that things also happen to people, you know?
Yeah,
like,
right.
6 months is a long time. Like,
circumstances
are
change.
You going to move, have a new baby, adopt a new baby, move, change your job? You know, there's a lot that can go on in 6 months. And like William said, that 6 months could turn into 9 months, right? Especially in today's market.
So what you guys are saying is plan for delays.
Plan for delays,
Yes.
you know, plan for delays, especially if you plan on moving at a certain time frame. Like if your escrow is supposed to close in, June when school gets out and you want to have the kids in a new school, that's something you should probably plan for,
Let me ask you this. What are some of the, I don't want to paint builders in a bad light here because they have their place in the real estate market.
Right.
But I always feel like there's something hidden that's not always very evident. If you're a buyer that walks into the lot, what are some of the 1 or 2 of the hidden things that are not so evident at the outset that a real estate professional like you knows ahead of time and could bring to that buyer's attention? Perhaps?
Well, for the most part, I will say that not all builders are the same, but for the most part, sometimes incentives can be hidden. But most builders have a very streamlined process, and they do things for one that they do for all others. That's been in my experience. I've never had a builder do one incentive for one and then not one for something else. But going into a new home construction with a real estate agent, well, the real estate agent has a relationship with that builder. That's very important versus going in as a consumer by yourself, because going as a consumer by yourself, you don't know what you don't know. You have to trust the word of the sales agent, who, by the way, works for the builder.
Always for the builder. But I do want to point out, though, on one thing, because, when you walk into, let's say you're renting a place, right? You walk in and they show you their model home.
Their model.
So the one thing I want everyone to know
I already know where you're going.
Exactly. I think as a buyer, you go
It ain't
in.
gonna look like that.
No, it ain't gonna look like that.
Guys, they don't look like that. So they really could,
like
if you want to throw in maybe 13 grand more there.
13? That's modest.
13 is modest. Okay, it is modest. Let's draw it back. I would tell my clients, fall in love with the layout, and the potential community because you never know who your neighbors are going to be. You never know what they're going to look like, how the place is going to look like. Honestly, you're looking at plans and a digital photo of what it could be, but a lot of things aren't always what they seem to be when they're supposed to. So when you walk into a new home build, they put a lot of money into decorating the place. They put all the flashy upgrades,
accent walls,
all of this. And again, it goes back like when you buy a new car, or you buy any car, like they'll show you the best one, but the pricing changes. It starts staggering. There's different levels to that one model. Or if you go into a leasing office and they show you the model home, you get the apartment completely bare versus all the little furnishings and things that really made it pop for you.
It's really an interesting point. Yeah. Do you think it's safer for a buyer to shop at a new home build show center without a realtor?
Absolutely not.
I mean, is it safer with a realtor is what I mean.
Oh, with the realtor,
and
yes.
Why is it not safe without a realtor?
It depends on who the realtor is.
Always.
Because a lot of times realtors can bust a new home deal because they pretty much want to take control of the deal. New home construction have their own set of procedures and processes that's very streamlined, and they follow the same SOP from client to client. So the sales agent is used to doing things a certain way, and then as consumers and as real estate agents, we should take control of our clients and take control of the transaction to build more trust with the client. But a lot of times some agents will kill the deal for you. Especially when you don't have a really good relationship with the sales agent. They can kill the deal.
It's true. I know a couple of agents personally that their whole business is new home builds. They draw in clients because just to be transparent so everybody knows, when we bring you to a new home, our name is there representing you, but we pretty much hand you over to the new home builder's agent.
And you're back there for questions.
And back up. So I'll give my experience. I know agents that literally, they'll pull, they won't even show retail homes. They'll only market for new homes because it's the easiest for them. They just bring the client in. Exactly. Now, in my experience, because of who I am as a person and how I love my clients, like this is my full-time business. My business is helping people create home ownership and enjoy their lives. It's always an upgrade for me. So when I brought my client to a home build and we had that turnover, again, going to what William said, super important that your agent is a good person that has rapport with the builder. They really will. They could make or break your deal.
So the realtor could get in the way.
The realtor can upgrade, really help you.
They can help you or they can hurt you. It depends on who the realtor is.
I really help my client.
I help my clients.
Yeah, not to toot my horn, but because of who I am in my relationship with the builder, we got them a home. In a market where they were going to wait a good 4 or 5 months on a wait list, I got them in with no wait list.
Well, that's because you probably had a good relationship with a builder, and the builder probably called you. Hey, by the way, we got 2 fall out of escrow this month.
Do you
think your client want to go towards something else? Because when homes fall out of escrow with new construction, that's not something that's advertised to the public.
What you guys are talking about almost sounds like a insiders.
It's considered insider, but
we know that real estate is all about relationships. All of it. And even when it's a new build, like you can find an agent that will just bring you to a builder and you'll get lucky with the right builder, right? That happens. It seems to be those couple agents I know, it's business model and it works out for them. But for me, in my experience, even when I handed over their file to the new home builder, because of how long it was, my clients are, the first one was a first-time home buyer. So they didn't really... They felt like they're being kept in the dark versus when it's us, we are checking in on that transaction. Sure. We are letting them know where it's at. So even when it was turned over to the new home builder, I was the one constantly calling escrow, calling the lender, calling even the home builder agent to see what's going on because my clients are left in the dark.
Right. So what you're really saying is not all agents are perhaps very savvy with the new home build process or have good relationships with builders that could benefit you as a home buyer.
Because the contract for a new home construction is very much different than that of an actual residential purchase agreement.
Let me change directions here for a second. I saw a property tax rate the other day of 2.7.
Oh, that's fun. Is it a Menifee?
HOA.
That's really high.
It was brutal. And the buyer's all excited about the home. It's big, shiny object, brand new. Yeah. I have to ask, as an uninterested third party, I'm just lending, hey, I'll do the loan or whatever you buy. But I have to ask, I mean, what if you went and bought that $600,000 home that's 10 years old down the street how does that conversation go? How do you deal with that?
Well, typically, when it comes to new construction, most people are attracted to new construction. If you're financially savvy, most people are attracted to new construction because their appreciation rates are higher. Okay. Now, even though taxes are higher, you're going to get more money for your dollar once you purchase new construction, especially if you buy in the early phase. Because we know that builders increase their prices every single phase. So if I buy in phase 1 for $500,000 and granted taxes are 2.7, but by the time phase 7 or 8 comes around, that home is now worth instantly $650,000 in a matter of months, versus a resale and rating on the market. However, depends on the buyer when it comes to taxes. We have to look at what they absolutely can afford and an absolute threshold. So if that 2.7% tax rate is making this buyer come to his complete threshold, that's a conversation we need to have. Hey, look, this house is nice. However, we can get you something similar with a much cheaper tax, because at the end of the day, taxes are a waste of money. There's 2 things that we really can't get away with in life. Number 1,
death.
Taxes and death. Taxes and death. It's unavoidable. You have to pay your taxes. And we don't know what the money's going towards when it comes to what taxes you're paying. I mean, they say it's the bonds, the roads, the schools, and stuff that was built, but that ain't got nothing to do with me.
No, I think that it was a great point what he just said, and I just want to draw that back for people to understand. New home builds are built in phases.
Correct.
And it's super important. People don't know that. They drive into a community that already has 24 homes in it, and they see that they're building other homes, and then they come in and that's the price. So if you're looking for a new home and that's already in your mind, because some people don't like used, period.
Correct. Like me, I don't like used. I literally, for my personal property, I only buy new construction.
There you go.
I cannot live in a used home.
Yes.
I don't want to deal with nobody else's germs.
See, I mean.
So I only buy new construction for that reason.
Yeah, I don't want to live with nobody's germs. I just want to say, people worked on that home.
Real estate.
Hey, I have a new company. We go in and we spray it. No, right? We even sage at the end.
Let me ask you a very kind of an awkward question about lending, right? So we all know buyers are steered by the builder to use their in-house.
Always.
I was going to ask you about that,
preferred, or whatever you call it, right? And I don't want to offend anybody, but on our side of the fence, we have a kind of a phrase that we use, which is headset jockey, right?
I've actually never heard of that.
Is that like a call center person?
A call center. People go, hey, it doesn't have to be that way. But the fact is, buyers don't seem to recognize that 90% of the time, they're getting a higher interest rate just because the builder is giving them credit for the closing costs. And if the builder were to do, quote unquote, the right thing and give that same credit, that buyer could get a low interest rate, level playing field.
Nothing's for free, Charles. This is
tell us more.
2021 now. But if you want to,
how does that conversation go? I mean, how do you?
Well, as far as lending is concerned and new construction, it's weird because most builders want to push their in-house lending because they own the lending company, number 1.
Of course.
So they're making money on the front end, in the middle, and the back end. Okay? Now, in-house lending, one thing they always can do, especially if the builder owns that lending company, they encourage you to go to an OSL. OSL, by the way, guys, is an outside lender. They always encourage you to go to an OSL, and they ask you for a loan estimate. And so then they take that loan estimate and they try to match that OSL's rate in order to keep the business, Yeah. Now, sometimes that might be beneficial for the consumer because they may need additional help closing. And so an inside lender can typically reduce their margins in order to get that deal done. Because at the end of the day, if the builder can capitalize on the first 2 avenues of profit, then the third one can suffer. Yeah. If they can capitalize on all 3, great, considering the beginning, middle, and end of the transaction. Now, if they need to scale back to help this client out, they'll do that to close that deal. In my experience, I have seen new home construction rates beat a lot of OSL rates because a lot of OSLs, they have a profit margin that they have to maintain based on the actual corporation, and they can only go but so far. But there's power with new home construction because they own the lending company. So there's a lot of power in that. If you are a consumer, it's smart to actually get pre-qualified through the actual in-house lender and find your OSL. Don't immediately take the word of the in-house lender because they immediately are not geared to give you the best rate up front. That is the truth. And then sometimes builders have what's called interest rate buy-down programs, which means that they already bought a bunch of mortgages at a really reduced interest rate below market value. For example, there was a time last year where I was working with new home construction. market value interest rates. There's a lot that goes into interest rates, by the way, but market value interest rate for that scenario was probably at like a 3.5, and this was like last year. And then the builder was saying we can give you a 2.5
buy down.
because they already had a bunch of mortgages that they already purchased at a low interest rate. However, that comes at a cost to the consumer.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic.
What people have to understand, that comes at a cost. Like you
They
just
like
said,
to
Faith,
scare you about a lot of
nothing is
things.
free.
Nothing is free.
Nothing is free.
Like I've actually came across a builder that says that requires that you still submit with their in-house lender to even get on their list.
Correct. That is very common because they want to know that you're pre-qualified and you're not wasting the one time. Because like if you and I, if we own a company, Faith, and we were building new homes, and you as a lender and I was a seller, I would want my people to go to you because I know you.
Yes,
I don't know
course.
Charles. I don't know what Charles' business practices are. I don't know what his DTI looks like. I don't know what he did for his underwriting.
Yeah.
This could just be a piece of paper pre-approval that he printed out and made up on one. So I want you to go through my actual lender to see that you're really qualified. That's why new home construction, they do that. They want to know that you're really qualified.
They really have a monopoly.
It's a pain in the butt, though.
It's also like a brokerage. You go to a brokerage. We're realtors.
Yeah.
So you go into a brokerage and we have our in-house escrow.
Sure.
We have our partner
Preferred
lender, vendors.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, nothing's for free. Everything is like, we say in real estate, there's no kickbacks and whatever, but I mean, that's always in the fine line. Like language can be ambiguous, and the way that you spin it is just the way that it's spun, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to new home builders, they will push your in-house lender.
Yes.
I stress with all of my clients, regardless if it's new or retail, the lending process is the number one. That's literally the one that's going to fund your home.
Right.
Correct.
To make sure it happens.
The money, yeah.
Yes. I've been lucky enough to where we have not been beat out by an in-house lender, not with the interest rate or anything, because we did dig deeper. And when it came down to it, it was just pennies in the difference.
Yeah.
So you build that relationship. They have, most of my clients already, they talk to different lenders. I usually recommend at least 3, just have a chat with them.
Correct.
And then they'll build that rapport and know they can trust someone. It's just the same thing, realtor or lender, like we're going to turn it around. And how much do you put faith into somebody that's doing 600 of these versus 10, 20 of them right now and focusing on getting your deal done and making sure that they're keeping track of the market. Hey, the rates, I hear it from you all the time. Rates are lower now. Like, do you let your clients know? I don't know if in-house lenders call their roster and say, hey, rates are lower now if they've locked them into something higher. I don't know.
Just to add to what you're saying, one of the biggest observations that I've heard from customers and from in-house agents that work, the realtors that work at the builder, is their lender, in-house lender, doesn't have to go looking for business. They don't have to really impress. It's all brought to them. Now, I'm not saying
I think
that
they're
just
salary, aren't they?
They're salary.
The agents
so
are
wait, that's a
salary.
huge difference between new home sales agents, realtors, in-house lenders, and mortgage brokers.
We have to impress.
We have to.
This is our business.
We have to impress everybody. We're literally. This is not this is not a job to you, or to me. We're literally building a business. This is our life.
We have a lot to lose if that deal goes south or our service level is not good enough. Get out. And I may not get that next deal from you.
Yeah.
A builder's lender, again, hey, throw rocks at me if you need to. But they're going to sit there. They're going to get another deal anyways.
And who's to say? I mean, everything is in-house. Like, how can I trust everything is tied into the same pie? Like,
and everybody's getting profits on
everything. And so who's to say that they actually pay attention at all to me? I mean, you mentioned it, like the headset jockey. I think that clicked to me where, like, again, their call center, it's versus going to an independent broker, an independent car insurance guy. You call State Farm, they're 1-800, or you go to a local broker that's really doing everything they can to go above and beyond and gain your trust and your business. Like, there's really, it comes back to customer service every time. We will go nowhere without customer service.
Awesome,
let's
guys.
get one thing straight, Charles. Just so people know, this is not a bash.
No,
not at all. It's an observation.
We love new home construction.
We need it.
We need it. They make a huge part of our market, and we want them to stay. This is not a bash new home construction fiesta. This is just observations based on our experience. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So consumers need to be aware, whenever you go to new home construction, you also need to talk to a third party, meaning get pre-qualified with the builder's lender, but also call Charles.
Yes.
You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
we talk to people about our decisions every day. Like if I'm thinking of
Yes.
going on a trip, I'll get, my boyfriend or my children's input or my family.
Yes.
So when you're going to purchase something so expensive, it's one of the biggest purchases you'll ever make in your
Right.
life. It's smart to get to see what are your options and talk to someone that knows about it, whether you use them or not. Like I'm sure William gets calls just like I do. They're not using me, but they're asking me about certain things and
Advice.
and they
for
call me
sure.
because they know that this is what I do. So it doesn't hurt
Right.
to seek advice for everything and to make sure that when you do seek advice, if you're looking at buying a new home, don't seek advice from your mom and dad that don't sell real estate. Seek advice from one of your 4 friends or one of their 4 friends that does sell real estate. Like, pay attention to who you're asking for advice from, of course.
Wisdom.
Always.
Guys, we're out of time, but that was some good dialogue. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, no worries.
And if you're a home buyer watching this, hey, take note and watch out. There's some things you have to really look out for, right?
Yeah.
And we're not
There's a
painting a
lot.
bad, putting builders in a bad light. They're a great need in our community. We're so short on inventory, and so the fact that they're building is a great thing.
Yeah.
How do they get a hold of you? If somebody's watching this and wants help buying a home,
Yeah.
Faith Hicks.
My name is Faith Hicks with Keller Williams Newport Estates, and you can always call or text me. My number is 951-414-0149. My email is faith@hicksrealtor.com. So I'm here to help in any way I can.
Thank you. And William King.
William King, Atlas Realty Group, 760-212-5507. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, Twitter. You can find
Venmo.
me. Just put in my name. Venmo for sure.
And if after
just
Elon
find me.
Musk is done with Mars, we'll find you up there. You'll have a website up there.
Yeah.
Thank you guys, and hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next podcast episode. MilitaryHomeBuyingToday.com. Thank you.